The sign-up component from Clerk is optimized for conversion. 65% of users that enter a flow finish in under 20 seconds. The sign-up component offers things such as social logins from providers such as Facebook, Twitter, Google. And if you don't want the burden of having your users remember a password, you can also use magic links and just require an email. If your business needs some sort of customization, such as you require usernames, first and last names, or you want to use your brand colors, all of that can be handled inside of the sign-up component. So those are just a few of the features of the sign-up component. So let's dig in and look at what it does. So here we have the default settings for a sign-up component. When you create an application with Clerk, these are the default settings, providing Google as a sign-up, email and password, but you can change this however you want. So let's begin by attempting to sign up for an account. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my email address and a password. And when you click sign up, by default, we have the user verify their account. So they have to type in a 6-digit code. And once they've done that, the account will be verified and they will be signed in. So let's look at some of the customizations you can do. So I'm inside the Clerk dashboard and we can customize pretty much anything that we need for our business. So if we go to this user authentication here, we can select social logins and we can add any social login that we need. Now, when you're in the developer environment, you can actually use Clerk's credentials to test to make sure the flows that you want work the way you think. So for example, we can add Twitter here. And it will say, do you want to use custom credentials? If you leave this unchecked, it will use Clerk's dev instance. So we can go ahead and click save here. And then maybe we'll add Apple as well. So what does that look like now? So if we click this component preview, which allows you to preview components before you go ahead and implement. So if we click this now, you can see we have sign up for Apple, Google, and Twitter. And if we click one of these, for example, sign up with Apple, it's going to go ahead and redirect you to your sign in where you'd need to sign in with your Apple ID and then redirect the user back and they will be officially signed up. And previously I talked about the email verification. Now, if you don't want this and you want to onboard your user and have them verify later, you can do this by clicking on email, going to this settings and selecting verify at sign up and unchecking this. Then what will happen is the user will be able to go fully through the sign up flow before requiring any kind of verification. So on top of that, what we can do is actually remove passwords from our sign up. So now we're in sort of magic link territory. And obviously you can sign in with a verification link or a verification code. So we'll go ahead and check those. Why don't we just ask for an optional name here? If you do click here, you can require the first and last name if you need it. When you click apply changes, those changes are automatically applied. So we can go ahead and check our sign up, sign in now. And as you can see, it's now changed to this optional first and last name and an email address. So if I type in my name here and we do james@clerk.dev and hit sign up, you'll see I'm automatically added to the account and I've been logged in. And if this was my application, I would be able to then do whatever I needed to in an onboarding flow or start playing around with the app that you've built. Now, when an unverified account is added, here is our user, that's me. You can see that it is set to unverified. So you'll be able to tell the difference between a verified and unverified account. So I've been through a few things here with the sign up component, but what does it actually look like in some code? So I'm going to show you what it looks like in a Next.js application where we're using a sign up flow. So here we are in an application that is using Clerk. This is the only code change that is required to actually start using Clerk. And this is all done in the _app.js for Next.js. As you can see, we're wrapping the whole application in a provider from Clerk. And then we're wrapping our component, which would be your normal application root, in a signed in component. If they are not signed in, they will get redirected to either sign in or sign up to the application. So that's all the code that is required apart from the environmental variables that you can add, but that's all the code that's actually required to use it. As you can see, it's very quick, very easy to set up. So what does that look like for the user? So here we are in the application, and as you can see, the URL at the top here is actually the hosted version of Clerk's components. So by default, Clerk allows you to essentially use a hosted version and requires no additional code, making it really easy to set up and get going without having to worry about that. But if you need a bit more control over your components, you can mount them yourself, and I'll leave a link in the description for some documentation on that. So when a user gets redirected, they'll get redirected to the accounts page where they need to sign in or sign up. So as you can see from the sign up page here, we can choose any number of these. So I'm going to go ahead and click sign up with GitHub, and it would normally request you to verify that you want to sign up for an account, and then it will sign in. So there we have it, a brief overview of the Clerk sign up component. If you're ready to get started with Clerk, click the link in the description. It will take you to the Clerk homepage where you can sign up or read the documentation. And until next time, see ya.